Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. We know that I love to procrastinate. And last video, we filled out my book journal 6 months late. Yes. So in this video, we are going to fill in my book journal from the months of January through March. And I will have a whole separate video of May, as well as I think it will be picking my June TBR. So let's fill out January, February, March, and April of this year in my book journal. Okay, here we are starting off with the books I have read. I'm going to draw in each individual book, and I think I'm going to put little hanging signs that indicate the months because we're going to go in chronological order, I think. That will be fun. Let's get to it. I need to start an outline, I think. Okay, what I did here, and my first mistake, because I'm new at this, of course, is I made these way too small because I wanted to fit them all on the shelf. But then, the whole point is the titles would not completely finish. So, Throne of Glass, I tried to fit it on there, and Assassin's Blade did not work. So what I'm doing instead for this one specifically is I'm going to make this shelf an entire series, and it says completed Throne of Glass, and this is Goldrin, which I thought was funny. And then for the next, obviously all other shelves, they're going to be taller so I can write the full name in them. Alright, let's complete January. Finished, and this is a lamp. I'm going to color it and it's going to look better. Oh god. I'm going to start coloring these books. Alright, for my book goals page, I want to get to 70 books this year, and I have a rating system. So, pink is my favorite color, green is my second favorite color, purple I like, blue, and then the last two are ones that I don't like, but will stand out. I think most of my reads hopefully will be these three colors, and I thought they look good together. And then these two will stand out for the ones that I didn't like. So they're sore for my eyes, just like the books were sore for my eyes. So let's color these in. Okay, the first book that I read this year was Assassin's Blade, and I gave it 3.5 stars. And I wish I would have read it in the romantic order, which is where you read the publication ordering instead of the chronological book ordering. And I think if I would have done this, it would not have been 3.5 stars, which it was for me. Next, I read Divine Rivals. It's a really good book. I give 4 out of 5 stars. Then, I read Throne of Glass. On Fable, which is where I'm most active as compared to Goodreads or anything, I actually gave this a 3.75. However, after that book, I didn't rate anything else with 0.25s, so I'm keeping it as a 4.5, or as a 0.5 ratings system. So I'm not going to mess with the 0.25s anymore. Next, sorry, I forgot to say, it was A Small Life. It's pretty good. I read it for class, actually, for my travel writing class, which is like a nonfiction creative writing class. And I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad, but it was also really short. But the prose in it was really good. The storytelling was awesome. So next, of course, is Ruthless Vows. I gave that a 4.5. It wasn't quite 5 stars for me, but it was really good. I deeply enjoyed myself. Next is Heated Rivalry, because we had to read that before it came out. For the book, I only gave it 3.5 stars. However, for the next book of Shane and Ilya's story, I'm really excited about. I hear it has a little bit more plot, which I think would bump it up to a 4 or 4.5, maybe even 5 star. And then, of course, we have Crown of Midnight. Finally getting the Throne of Glass into 4-star ratings. Next, we have Heir of Fire. I think one of my favorite books in the Throne of Glass. Okay, and then we had First Time Caller, which was really fun. I rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Then was Project Hail Mary, which was another 5 stars. As you can tell, I love to read the book before watching the movie. And then we had Cruel Prince. And I'm sorry to say, TikTok girlies, but I did not like Cruel Prince. To be honest, if I gave any book out of here a 1-star rating, it would be Cruel Prince, but I did give it 2 stars because the concept was interesting. I just hated the characters. Next we have Pet Sematary, which I gave 3.5 stars. It was good, but it didn't blow me away. I thought it was a little long. Next two are 5 stars. We have Queen of Shadows, of course, and Deep End. This was a rating of I kicked my feet. I had so much fun. If I reread it, I don't know if I would give it 5 stars, but I loved the therapy in this book. I loved all of it in this book. I have Allie Hazelwood's novella Let's Play. Really fun read. I literally read it in like 2 hours. It was so good. But if it was a full-fledged book, I'm sure it would be rated higher, but since it was just a novella, it's a 3.5 stars. And then we have Empire of Storm. Perfect. And that's my rating so far. Overall, really good. I told you that we would have 3.5 or up. Also, I'm sure you could see, but I changed these two because the purple was too similar to the pink, so I made it a darker marker. And then the blue was too similar to the green, so I made it darker as well. Now, the monthly reading tracker. I think I'm going to do highlighters for this. Alright, I chose 3 highlighters, red, green, and blue. First, January, of course. We had 5 books for January. February, sadly, we only had 2. This was midterms, and as you could see here, my bird died, unfortunately, and it really took a hit in February. So February we've only read 2 books. In March we read 4 books, so getting back up there. And then back to red. In April we read 5 books. For the month of January, I read 5 books. The first one that I read that month was The Assassin's Blade, which is the prequel to the series of The Throne of Glass. And it was my first time ever reading the series. I wish I would have read the series in the romantic order, which is when it was published, because I did not like this series at all from how it started. Although I understand how it set up the world, I just simply was not enjoying it. However, one of my friends told me to continue reading the book, and for her I did, and Throne of Glass I actually liked a lot more, which is the 3rd book that I read this year in January. However, I first took a break and read Divine Rivals, and that was a pretty good book. I enjoyed it a lot. I rated it a 4-star. It was not a bad read at all. I really liked the magic system with the typewriters and the gods. I thought their story was really interesting as well. And I read Throne of Glass, of course, and I liked it a lot more than The Assassin's Blade. However, both of those were just 3.5 stars. Next, I read Ruthless Vows, which is the 2nd book after Divine Rivals, and it's duology. And this was a really cute book as well. I actually liked it a lot more than Divine Rivals. In the first book, I thought the romance was a little pushy, I guess you could say. I didn't love the romance, but the 2nd book definitely solidified their romance for me, and I liked it a lot better. And of course we got the conclusion there. I actually have not read the prequel to this book series, but it is on my TBR. I would like to read it. The last book that I read in January was A Small Place, and this was for school. It was for my travel writing class, and I really enjoyed it, actually, more than I thought I would. Moving on to February. This was a shorter month for me because it was a lot was going on in my life, but I read Heated Rivalry because the show was coming out, of course, and it was really fun and very spicy, but I really did enjoy it, of course. The adaptation was really, really good. If you don't know, it's an hockey romance and between 2 leaders, you can say, for the teams, and they're rivals, of course, but they secretly freak it, and it's very steamy. And also the story specifically for Ilya Rozanov, I'm really intrigued to read the 2nd book, and I haven't read the 2nd book yet. I was going to read it closer to the season 2 dropping, but I was really interested in his story and his family dynamic as well. And I rated that 3.5 stars. After Heated Rivalry, we went to Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire. I just now noticed that those 2 places should be swapped. Crown of Midnight, obviously, is the next book in the series of Throne of Glass, so that's an oopsie on my part. But I liked these 2 much better compared to the first 2 books, and Heir of Fire actually was a 5-star read. There was a lot of character development from Selena Sardothian, I guess I will say, and it was really good, and the plot really started to move forward for me. Okay, next we have March. We started off the year with First Time Caller, and I really enjoyed this book as well. It was a 4.5 star for me.
as everybody else loved it as well, and it was good palate cleanser after reading the next 2 books of the Throne of Glass series. And then of course we had Project Hail Mary because it came out in theaters. This is the first time I ever read it because I'm one of those people, I have to read the book before I read or watch the movie, and it was really good. I really liked it. I rated it 5 stars. I thought it was so funny. This is such a cute friendship. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Unfortunately, I rated this 2 stars. I did not like it whatsoever. I did not like the magic system. I did not like them mentioning... Like, I understand that it was a urban fantasy, but it was too urban. I did not need them talking about Target and Starbucks. I already get enough of that in real life, so... I don't think, unless you guys can convince me, I don't think I'll be continuing the series. And I rated it 2 stars, and I did not like it, and I did not like Jude, and I did not like the MMC. So, honestly, should have rated it 1 star. Next, we have April. I went on a road trip with my husband. So, we road tripped 4.5 hours to Seattle. And on our way there, we listened to Pet Sematary. This is my first ever, shocker, Stephen King book, and I really liked it. I rated it 3.75 stars, and the only thing I could say is scenes drug out for too long. However, the horror and the suspense was really good, and I really like Stephen King's writing. I will be reading obviously more from Stephen King, but this book was a little bit dragged out in my opinion. And then, of course, we had to continue the Throne of Glass series. I read Queen of Shadows, rated at 5 stars. The character building, they found family. This book was just beautiful continuation of the Throne of Glass series. I can't get too much into it because I'll be spoiling the whole book, but that was really good as well. And then we have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, and I love me some Ali Hazelwood. I rated this 5 stars as well. I really like the FMC and MMC in this, and I loved their communication, and I really like the swimming dynamic. As a self-taught swimmer myself, I really enjoyed how she described the sport as well as the relationship between those two. It was just beautiful in my opinion. Who Can Play is the next read that I read. I rated this 3.5 stars, and it was a very cute novella. Lastly of this month, we read Empire of Storms. I tandem read this, so at the same time as also reading Tower of Dawn, which I finished in May. But Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, I both rated 4.5 stars. They were both really good. And that is all that I read for January through April. So now we have to pick our best books of the year. So here I'm deciding between Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows because those are the highest rated in January. And I decided to go with Ruthless Vows because I liked that book, honestly, more than the first one. And then in February, our only 5 star was Heir of Fire, so that was a pretty easy choice for February. Before we go to March, I have to decide between these two, and I decided that Heir of Fire was better than Ruthless Vows, which makes sense. Okay, so now in March, we have to decide the best book, and it's a no-brainer. It's, of course, Project Hail Mary. It's very good, so that's going in the March spot. And finally, for April, we have 2 5-star reads, and this one was a hard decision for me because I do love the Throne of Glass series and Ali Hazelwood, but in the end, I decided to do Deep End because I already have a Throne of Glass book up there. I wanted to choose Deep End, of course. And then deciding between the two, I chose Project Hail Mary. It's a classic, or it's a modern classic. And that's it so far for the book showdown. And then, of course, we don't have any DNF or 1 stars. Editing Lily here. That video was supposed to go up in the beginning of May. It is now the beginning of June. This lighting looks terrible. That's okay. However, stay tuned for next video because I will be going over my May and June reads that are there was a lot of them, including the end of Throne of Glass, which was very exciting. That one will be posted on time because they actually know how to edit. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!